Hi, Mark Trotzik here from Boardroom Apparel. I recently took a trip overseas to learn how our recycled polyester blue sign approved fabrics were made. I took my iPhone and documented the whole process. So sit back and enjoy.
Hi, Mark Trotzik from Boardroom Apparel. Here in Taiwan, in a neighborhood where we have a recycling depot. Just want to show you the source of where we get our soda bottles. So it's through hundreds and if not thousands of little recycling depots here in Taiwan that collect the soda bottles, and they are then washed, cleaned, and sent to processing facilities to be turned into polyester flake, and then it goes through a process of being chipped into pellets to turn into yarn, to turn into fabric, and then I sew it into garments and ship it all over the world. So this is what it looks like. It's not pretty, but this is how it's all done. We are at the entrance to Chengxing. This is where we have all of our recycled polyester yarn made, and we're just going to go in and take a nice little tour. Just wanted to take a look at what the factory looks like from the outside. It's not shiny and clean, but this is what it looks like. We just want to make sure everybody knows this is where we do it, this is how it's done, and it is what it is. I like it. And there's Rex, still doing business while we're taking the tour. Good job, Rex. These are just all of the certifications and documents. They put them right on the wall so everybody can see them, that they have been certified by the government to produce certified yarns, and from polyester plastic PET bottles that come from Taiwan. I'm going to take a picture, go through the whole process of taking the recycled polyester soda bottle ground up clean flake and turn it into yarn for processing into fabric. I'm just going to document the whole process so I can verify to my customers and let them know that we do verify our supply chain with respect to recycled polyester in all of our products. So this is the hopper where we put the recycled soda bottle flake in, and it's going into a big container where it's depolymerized. So it's first depolymerized and then processed and repolymerized back into new chips. We were just upstairs, now we're downstairs. The flakes that were put in that hopper come down here, and then what happens? It goes into the...
Go inside to via the pipe over there,
yeah,
to the container for depolymerization.
Okay, so it goes into this container, then up into the...
Over there, that one.
To that big container for depolymerization.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So after depolymerization, that happens over here in that big container. It comes over here for repolymerization to make sure the polyester is stable before it's turned into yarn. After repolymerization, as you can see there, those white strands, they're cooled and cut into chips, and the little chips are then melted down into yarn and staple fiber. Okay, so once the pellets are cool, they get put into big bags like this. We started outside with the flakes, the recycled flakes from the recycled bottle, and then it goes through depolymerization, repolymerization, and gets turned into these chips so that we can now turn it into fiber and yarn to send to my fabric supplier. As you can see here, this is the spinning box, so the pellets that we just saw are now melted down and spun into these fine filament yarns. I don't know if you can see them there. And they get turned into really thin fibers, yarns, and then they are put on big rolls. And I'll show you the big rolls afterwards. As you can see, it's moving, and it's really hot by this box, but hopefully you can see that. We were just up watching those spinning boxes. So then the fiber comes down and gets put on these big rolls, and these big rolls of fiber are what is sent to my fabric manufacturer. But this is the texturizing the yarn for different types of fabric. Okay, this is partial oriented yarns. So this is the yarn that is now sent to Rex, my fabric supplier, who will take this and turn it into different types of knitted fabrics. Okay. So this is the result of the recycled soda bottles being cleaned and flaked, turned into pellets, and now turned into yarn. After the greige is woven here at Everest Textiles, it's then inspected before it goes on to dyeing. We've just seen how the recycled polyester yarn is turned into greige, and then it comes to this facility where the greige is prepared for dyeing. It's pretty cool. Once the fabric is dyed, then it comes over to these large dryers, and the any moisture is spun out through centrifugal force, and then it goes on to be prepared for drying and last part of inspection. And then after drying, it has to be flattened out again. So the fabric is just flattened out and ready for heat set and finishing. And the final stage is heat setting. All the chemicals and dye stuffs are stable. So big heat set machine. Fabric runs all the way through this big dryer. The fabric is heat set. And as you can see, the fabric comes out of the other end of the heat set machine, and now it is loaded in these bins and on to final inspection and put on rolls, and then sent to us in Vancouver or in LA or to my factory in Vietnam or to China. It's global. Checking out the wastewater treatment plant. This is the first stage, and we're going to see more parts of their wastewater treatment plant so that I can just make sure that they're doing everything that is needed to be done. This is where the dyeing and finishing wastewater is collected, and they froth it, and they start the process of cleaning it to extract all the impurities and to make sure that clean water is returned to the environment. Okay, so they have their own farm on the grounds. And do you use this wastewater for irrigation?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. So that's another thing that they're trying to do, is show people that they using this recycled water and using it for their own crops that they grow, and they use it to feed some of the people who live here in the dormitories, as well as people take it home and use it for their own purposes. This is all organic. This is a vegetable garden at Everest Textile Mills. Vegetables that are grown from the wastewater from their plant. And we're just here sampling the food. Very tasty. So, Evertech Textiles, Blue Sign certified textile mill, from which we buy fabrics to make our clothing. And they have a functioning vegetable and fruit farm, and all irrigated with wastewater from the textile mill. By far the most environmentally friendly textile mill that we work with, and glad to say that we're a part of the supply chain. Thank you. So this is the last step in the process. Once the fabric arrives here in Vancouver, we store it, then we get an order, and then we cut it into pieces so that we can sew it into garments. So this is how it's done. We cut it with large cutting knives, and then we bundle all of the pieces together and bundle it with thread, bundle it with zippers, labels, whatever you need. And we take it over to our sewing floor, which is all under one roof. So we have everything under one roof, and so we can make sure the quality is perfect. We can make sure that timing of shipments are on time, and we can make sure that the process is being done in a socially compliant manner. And then after the garment is sewn, we take it over here and we trim or put buttons or heat press labels, whatever we need to do to finish the garment, and then we pack it up and ship it out.
So I hope you enjoyed my little adventure. This is where all the fabric comes. It ends up here in Vancouver, British Columbia in my warehouse, where we take the fabric, cut it up, sew it into garments, and then ship it all over the world. So it's not an easy process, it's a little complicated, but this is how it's done, this is what it is, and I hope you enjoyed watching this little video.